Hey guys, we're back with another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to implement Google Wallet passes end to end. As always, I have a demo for you. Here's a pre-built project. I'm going to run my demo app on my Android phone and then switch to screen recording to show you what that look like. This is my demo app. It's simple, got nothing but the button. You click on the button and then it's going to ask you if you want to add the pass. You add the pass, and then you can view the pass. The pass can have a QR code, and then you click on the three little dots on top. You can see the full details of the pass. And you can add links within the pass. See open dashboard, contact support. That leads to your website or whatever. So this is what it looks like. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to implement the backend that creates the pass, which is going to be an API that takes in the pass details like this, and it's going to return you a JWT token like this that you can use to create the pass and save the pass on the front end. And then I'm going to show you the front end part on the Android Studio, how to basically add that button and use it to trigger a call to your API to download the pass and then save it. Okay, so before we do any of that, you need to go ahead and start with the Google Pay and Wallet console. Find that, just Google Wallet, just search Google Wallet console. You're gonna find this page over here, and then you want to go all the way down where it says Google Pay and Wallet console. Hit get started, and then if you have businesses already, it will show up here. But here's how you can create a new business if you don't have it. I'm just gonna ask you to enter the business details, type of business, country, and that's it. And then you're gonna get access to the dashboard where you can set your wallet configuration to start building passes like this. And once you have done that, you'll have this dashboard. Now what you want to do is you want to go to Google Wallet API, and then you'll have the option to create a class. We're not gonna do it from here. We're gonna use APIs to create this pass class. So in Google Wallet API, you have two concepts you gotta understand: the class and the object. The class, think of it as a template of the pass. The title, the logo, the background color, and things like that. From that class, you're gonna create passes that follow that template. Each pass is basically an object that is created from that class. So just keep that in the back of your mind for now, and we're gonna go more into it later in the coding. But here, what you need to do is you're gonna go to additional features, and you wanna go to app permissions, and then you need to add your app here. Just click on add app. It's gonna ask you for the package name and the signature key prints and some notes that are optional. To get these two, first for the package name, you wanna go to Android Studio, and this is simply gonna be this string over here. Second, for the signature key fingerprint, you're gonna open a terminal, and then you're gonna open the directory where your Android Studio project is. This is where you can find your Gradle files or app and all that stuff. Go into it, and then run this command, .gradle w signing report. Hit enter, and just wait for a few seconds. And here you're gonna have one that says debug, and one that says debug Android test. Do you wanna take the one here that says SHA1? So grab this, copy it, go back here. This is what you want to put here, and then add the application, and then you're all set. Okay, that's first thing you gotta do for the paperwork. There's still another thing you gotta do. You want to go to Google Console, the Cloud Console, this one, and here you want to search for Google Wallet API. Click on the first one that says Marketplace, and then I already added to my project. But basically, what you want to do is that here it's gonna say Add to Project if you don't have it already, and just click that, and then you want to go to its page. It will look like this, and here you'll have options. You want to click on credentials, and here I already have a key configured, but let me show you how to create one. All you gotta do is click on create credentials, service account, and then just give it a name like G Wallet. Hit continue. You don't have to give it any role, so hit continue again. You don't have to give it any role again here, so you just click done, and now you have it created here. Now let me show you what to do with it. This is my endpoint source code directory. Here I need to install all these dependencies. I need to install Google APIs, JSON Web Token, add environment variables, and the rest is depending on your setup. You may need it, you may not. Here you want to create an environment variable. First thing you want to add here is your Google Wallet issuer ID. You're going to get that from this portal. Go to here, go to your Google Wallet API portal. This is going to be up here, all the way in the top, issuer ID. So just put that here. Then you're going to have the class name. If you already created a class in the portal here, this will be whatever the class name is, you can put it here. But if you gonna create it in the API, this really doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna put a placeholder, for example, test class 2. Then you need your service account email. Just go back to where you created your service account, and the email is basically this over here. Just highlight that, copy it, and go back, put it here. Lastly is the key, the Google Wallet private key. To get that, go to your portal, click here, and here click on keys, and here add key, create key, select JSON, and it's gonna allow you to download the key. I'm gonna go back here, drag this key to my project. This key, make sure it stays in a secure place. Don't store it in plain text. So after I'm gonna grab this key, I'm gonna just delete the file. Grab it, go here, put the key here, save, and then I'm gonna delete this or put it in a secure place. Okay, that's all for my environment variables, and that's all for my paperwork steps. Now I need to code my server side now. I can go ahead and start coding here. I'm gonna name this endpoint create wallet pass JWT, and then I'm gonna start coding here inside it. I'm gonna start with a big try catch statement, and here let's start coding. First, I'm gonna need to add some helper methods. I want to import all the environment variables that we just put there earlier. And I'm going to check if any of them missing and throw an error. And then I'm going to compose my class ID like this. The class ID will be your issuer ID plus the class name. Then I need to create a method that creates the wallet client from Google APIs. First, we're going to get the auth client like this. And then we're going to use that to return this over here. First, I want to start by collecting all the necessary data from my client side like this. Points, username, whatever. This is the data that I want to be in the pass. If any of them is missing, I'm going to throw an error. Then I'm going to format my user ID, make sure it doesn't have any white spaces or anything like that. And then I'm going to compose my object ID. This is how I identify the pass that was created, the specific pass for this user. Okay, and now I'm going to create my first important method, which is this one. This one is going to create a class. Remember, class is the template of the passes. It's going to check if there's one that exists. If there is, it's going to reuse it. If there isn't, it's going to create a class. This should always be a one-time activity. Most of the time, you'll have to create a class just one time at the beginning of the project. Okay, so this is what's going to be inside this method. First, we get the wallet client using this method that we just implemented. Then I'm going to compose my class structure. This is what it looks like. Here's a rich class template. My background color, my status, my issuer name. Then here's the logo for the class that's going to be on the passes. This is just the description of that logo. Here's a hero image that's going to get put in the class. And again, this is a description of that image. Here's the default title for each pass, ScriptPapi rewards. And then under that text, it will say member pass. And then this is basically just all text that I'm going to be putting in the pass here. And this is the buttons that come in that pass. And this is additional stuff that I can add in the pass, like information about support and the program. What is this pass for? And I can add links and buttons in the pass like this. So this information over here is going to be in every pass I create using this class. Now I need to create this class. Here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to open try catch. And then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check if this class exists by doing a get for the class ID. If the class is new and this is the first time me creating a class, then I'm going to get a 404 and then I'm going to handle it here in the catch statement. But if I get anything other than 404, then it means that there's an issue that is not related to whether I can find the pass or not. So I'm going to just throw an error and handle it accordingly. But here, when I get 404, I need to go ahead and create this class. So this is how I create it. Just using this call over here. Wallet, generic class, insert. Now you have different classes. You have event ticket, you have flight, you have gift cards. So I'm going to use generic just because it's super general. Regardless, this is how you create the new type of class, like this. You give it a name like this. And then that's it. I'm going to return this class ID and signal that it was created. But if it already exists, then I'm going to do something differently here. I can choose to either reuse the class or update it with a new data. So just to show you what it looks like to update a class, this is what it looks like. This is how to update a class. The class ID is the resource ID and the request body is the new object for how you want to change the class to look like. And then after you do that, you can also return the class ID. And here I'm gonna put a flag that says this was not created newly. It's updated. Okay, so we're done with this. Now, after we have created the class using this method, now we can go ahead and create that pass using that class that we just created. And for that, we're going to implement another method that looks like this. It's going to follow the same logic, but with the pass instead of the class. So it's going to check if the pass has already been created, then it's going to update it with the information. If the pass is new and haven't been created, then it's going to create a new one. This is going to be like this, the same exact logic here. I open a try-catch statement, and I have the object for the pass. This is the information that's going to be in this pass that is unique to this pass. I can still override the title here using cart title or the header. Here I'm putting the username in the pass, their email, and I put a QR code, and then I attach some data to that QR code. I put their points here and their membership tier, and then I put a link here that allows them to log into my website or whatever. And there's much more you can do with the pass. All you gotta do is just take a read at the references on Google Wallet API reference for the passes and the classes. It's gonna have all the information you need, and have an explanation of the layout and which field is for which layout. Anywho, that's the object, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna check if the object exists, and if it exists, then I'm gonna update it with new data. And then I'm gonna return that as the function response. If not, I'm gonna create a new one. So it's the same exact logic, but with the object instead of the class. Okay, now having created the object, now I need to sign the pass and then return the GWT signed token to the client side, which is going to be the app later. So you need to create a claims object that looks like this. ISS is going to be your service account email, which we put in the environment variable. AUD Google, type safety wallet, and here in the payload, you're going to say generic objects, and then ID is the object ID. And now you're going to sign that. And this is how you're going to sign it. You put the claims here, you put the private key here, which is you get from your environment variables. And then you put the algorithm here as RS256. And then you're going to get the signed GWT, and that's where you turn to your app like this. Okay, now the thing is complete. Let's go ahead and test it in the emulator to see if it works. Here it is here in Postman. Send it. And we should get a signed. Oh, I'm getting an error. Failed to create wallet pass GWT, permission denied. Oh, I missed one more step in the paperwork. You wanna grab your service account email, this one, and you wanna go here, you wanna go to users, and you wanna go invite a user, put this here, and give them a developer access, for example. Invite, and this should work now. Here we go. It works instantly. Okay, that's all for the server steps. Now we can go ahead and implement this in the front end, in the app, create the button, and generate the pass. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we are on the Android Studio app. Now let's go ahead and first do the setup steps. And to do that, first thing you want to go to the Gradle file. Here we have all the dependencies. Go all the way down, and here we need to add some dependencies. You want to add these two modules. This one is for your Google Wallet, and this one is for your API calls. Okay, now you also need to go to your Android manifest here, and here you just want to add permission internet, and I think that's it for that. Now you want to download the button, the Google Pay button, and you want to go here to this page, just Google Wallet brand guidelines, and then here you can download the add to Google Wallet button, and you would simply hit download, and then you're gonna get a package full of SVG pictures. You're gonna get the button in all languages here, and then you want to do new, and then here there's something that says vector asset. Click that, select local file, and here you want to import the Google button that you want to use. I'm just gonna use English. There you go. And then I'm just gonna name it add to Google Wallet button, and then I'm gonna save it here. Okay, now we can code. Here, let's go ahead and start from the scratch. I'm gonna add these dependencies. This is red because I need to sync. Go to file, sync project with Gradle files. We're gonna create a simple activity that's gonna contain just a view with a button. Here you need these two. Apologies, I think my computer is now slowing down like crazy. This initializes your wallet client, and this is just a request code constant. We're gonna create our view like this. This is where we render the button, and this is the button where I add the pass. So I need to implement this still. Here's my add pass method. This is gonna call the wallet client, and the wallet client is gonna this is gonna simply call my API in this method, which we're gonna implement now, and then listen to the result. Now this one here is where all the action happens. In this method, I open a thread and then I make my API call. This is the body, the same what you guys saw in Postman. This is my header, and this is the URL for my request. Here I make a call to my API, and then I listen to the result, and then I handle the response. If the result is failed from the API, then I'm gonna show like an alert that in the app that says API failed. If it's empty, then I'm gonna return a message that says no legitimity returned. Okay, now this handles what happens after the user could display the pass. If he selects to add the pass, it's gonna say pass added successfully. If the user hit cancel to go back to the app, it's gonna say user canceled. And I believe that's it. We have everything in place. We can go ahead and test this. Okay, let's go ahead and run this in our Android phone. Okay, here it is. Let me just go ahead and delete the old pass that I saved from my first test. This one. Let's just delete that. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add the new pass with our new app. Add to Google Wallet. And here's the new pass. Hit add. View the pass. This is the pass. Hit the 3 buttons. You can see the same data. And there you go. This is how you can implement Google Wallet passes on Android and a Node.js API. That's it for today. Hope you found the video useful. If you did, hit like. If you want more content like this, we have more interesting content on the channel. Subscribe. And if you want to support the channel and get the source code that we used in this video to make your life easier, check out the Patreon link in the description box below. There you can support the channel and you get source code of this video and all my other videos too if you want to. That's it. See you next time.